So with that being said, let's move on to our next thing we're going to review, which is going to be Injustice, a DC animated series, Injustice, based off of the video game, I believe, and comic book. I believe the video game was first, and then they made the
Video
comic
game was
book
first,
second.
and then comic book came. But
so
both are pretty good.
We're going to talk about Injustice, and I'm going to kick this off with you, Jaron. What did you think about the DCAU, Injustice cartoon?
You got to put that A in there.
Yeah.
Y'all saw what they did to the Flash, right?
Yeah. Spoiler alerts, guys. Spoilers.
1.0. Moving on. Man, I'm tired of this shit. He is a speedster is one of the most powerful things you can have in these. It just is, and
it's a cheat card. Yeah, you got it. Like if you're a speedster, you're good.
Yeah, I hate how they just cripple him with bad writing, and I don't want to talk. This hurts. This hurts my soul, man. Y'all go ahead. I don't even want to.
Okay, you don't want to do it.
I'll go second, and then we'll let Jason back closing. So Injustice Anywhere is an injustice everywhere. That is how I feel about this movie, because there's so many injustices to this that it makes me almost hate it, because it's so much good material that they either alter to be different or have a different meaning, or they just didn't put it in there at all. So first things first, this should have been like 5 or 6 movies. You should have slow walked this through. This first one should have been showing how, not even the world being perfect, but showing how perfect Superman's life is, and even getting a little bit of conflict with Batman on a different perspective. Maybe Batman being too brutal and Superman being too light, and going through that. Then when the incident happens, we should have been able to go through half of this movie with the grief, with him losing his significant other and his kid, and with the other person eventually losing pretty much his son. We should have had almost a grief off, but the actions and moves going in there. This movie should have set up for Superman to become more of a hardened guy, because once you start down the path that Superman's going, it ultimately is going to lead to being a dictator.
Yeah.
And it's no other way to end that. So I hated that this movie tried to do all of it at once. The biggest injustice of this all is, and I hate to say, I agree with Jaron on here, not only nerfing the Flash, but not because of his power set.
Why do you
nerfing the chess match? No. But I'm saying, but hear me out. The chess match between Superman and the Flash is probably the most important moments of that thing. Also, the fact that they're having this chess match almost in light speed would have been so cool to see animated as they would have done this. Instead, they supplemented with Mr. Terrific. Hey, I'm all for diversity, but it felt like that was literally a diversity hire. They were like, hey, we need some more color in this movie. And again, I said I like Mr. Terrific too, but this literally felt like you put him there because he's smart, but we needed a black guy. Like, literally, that's the only reason he was there. And so having that moment where they discuss moving guns and what this could lead to and blah, 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 was a great moment, but that should have been with the Flash, because even in Injustice, the Flash always did what was right. Yeah, he rolled with Superman majority, but a couple of times he saves Batman and the crew because Superman's gone too far, or Superman's got to kill again, and Flash didn't want that to happen. Having him be almost Switzerland would have been a great look for that movie, and that would have been able to overcome the fact that a speedster is overpowered, because he wouldn't have been particularly helping extremely either side. That's a better way to nerf him than what you did to him in the movie. So I hated that. I hated the chess match was different. I hated the fact that the second real most brutal scene of this all, the Joker rave party, how they portrayed that in the movie.
Yeah.
That is the moment in the books where he's gone too far now, where it's gone too far to the point that it's like he's no longer redeemable, because these were innocents. Regardless of what their ideology was, they were still innocents, because his war was against stopping criminals from doing things to innocents. When he did that to the innocents, that was the moment.
He became,
You have to treat that with such an epic moment. Like, I'm talking about Hans Zimmerman, musical score. Like, you got to go all in. Yes, you have to go all in on the brutality there, because you need to understand that this is the moment where he's no longer the guy that is hope in a change. Right. He's now just a dictator, and if you go against his rule, you end this way. They handled that poorly. That's the problem with all of this whole movie, is that all the moments that are supposed to make the mythos of this universe, because this is a what if, you just completely slaughtered him. It's like, oh, we need to get this movie over with, so let's roll the end credits. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess.
It could have used the John Woo treatment. The doves releasing slow motion.
Right, yeah.
Swelling violins.
Yeah.
Making Wonder Woman almost you relegated her to just a lovesick woman for Superman. Because that scene of the misfire doesn't need to happen because you never set that up that she was actually in this zone. Now, people who read the books, we know she's in that zone. But if you watch the movie, you never know she's in that zone until she tries to pull it. So now it makes her look like not only an asshole and a jerk, but actually just like a love-struck woman that's after a super powerful man. It means nothing. It has no influence. And then even that moment is supposed to show into Superman's grief for his loss. It just comes off as this chick tried to take advantage of a vulnerable man and it didn't work. That's what it reeks of. It's just so much. It's so much wrong with this. So much wrong with this. I'm gonna let Jason finish because I know I've rattled on and rambled. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, man. Because
also in the comic books, this makes her look like she's wishy-washy too. Because in the comic books, she's about that life. Like when Superman's
100%.
She's not like she's like, yes, we should have been doing this from the beginning.
100%. Sorry. The last thing, I had one more thing. The animation on Batman and a lot of some of these things is very questionable. I don't know if that was a tongue-in-cheek thing because I remember the original Injustice comic book. Batman was drawn like mad crazy looking, and they had to go back and redo other copies to make the animation. the drawings better for him. I wonder if that was a thing in here because some of the looks on Batman is just god awful. Like I'm surprised Jaron didn't even bring that up. It is god awful.
You're not going to spend 16 hours of your day drawing something that you hate, right? Like just for the fun, just for a joke. Okay, you're not going to do that.
Okay, sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
let's talk about the art style. Like I'm going to talk about the technical aspects of this. That I hated it. If you've watched the previous, like the Mortal Kombat movies, they have, I guess, the same studio did this as this one. And there's this thing that they do in the character designs where they have these black lines on their knuckles. And it's like, and they don't ever go away. And it always makes me think like people are wearing gloves or something has happened to their hands. Because if you notice, like shadow doesn't work. It doesn't stay as you move around. But like from talking about like the last Halloween, and I didn't even like that art style. That art style is loads better than this one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it feels to me like now the DC Universe syndrome has infected the animated portion of the DC Universe, and that is sad.
Yeah, bring back the Justice League artists and animators.
Yeah,
those guys were great.
Tim, Bruce Timm
and Paul Dini.
And Paul Dini and all those other good guys. Obviously not Dwayne McDuffie because he's dead, but but this isn't Injustice. It's only Injustice in name. Like as you said, this should be like either a TV series or a series of movies because A, it doesn't ever go far enough to like even match the story of the comic book, and B, it's just like all the characterizations are wrong and off. Like the moment where Nightwing dies, it just didn't. I'm sorry, that was a spoiler. I'm sorry, guys.
The book's been out forever.
Yeah,
they haven't read the books and all that. That's on them at this point.
113 spoiler.
113 spoiler. It's me today this week. It's not Sharon, everybody. It's me today.
Hey guys, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Though Jason hinted to it at the beginning of it. So, but it didn't even hit because like I remember reading that in the book and been like upset. Because it was like it was such it was a built up moment. They built to it, and B, it was like in the show, it's kind of like Nightwing. Robin throws the thing and the baton hits him and just instantly kills him, and he's a straight murderer at that point. But in the comic book, he throws it as out of rage and it hits him, but it doesn't kill him. What happens that kills him is he falls awkwardly and breaks his neck.
On a rock. Yes.
On a rock. So it's like it was really just an accident that happened. And but Batman being in his emotions because his firstborn son died, that's how he gets, the rift between him and Damian starts. But it's just like, and they just flow rush right through it. And it's not
or just just what, and I forgot it too. Oh, now you make me think about more of this movie. It makes me just madder. Like the whole dead man thing, which was epic in the books because of the absence between that moment makes it so earned and worth it. To just throw that in there, oh my God, it's so terrible.
That was a year 2 revelation. That was a whole nother comic line after the year 1 shit.
Oh my God. DC be Russian. That's all they do.
Which is an injustice.
It just doesn't do this movie any justice. It doesn't do the story any justice whatsoever. It is an injustice. They were correct in naming the movie that. All right.
Oh my God.
I'm with you guys. No more. I'm Darren. I don't want to talk about it no more.
All right, I had fun. What's your rating? What is your rating on this, Jared?
People did work on this, and they were animators employed. I'm gonna give this a solid 1.2.
1 point. Okay. I'm gonna be completely real with it, man. Fuck this shit. I give it a 0, man. Fuck this. Fuck out of here, man. Wow. No. It's no. If you hadn't seen the rated comic, if you hadn't read the comic, I'll say it's probably a 2. All right. But outside of that, F this thing, man.
All right. Well, I would suggest don't read the comic book and then watch this movie, or just read the comic book. But if you don't want to read because you're illiterate or whatever, I don't know your life, and you can watch this movie and you might find some enjoyment out of it. So I will give it a 1.5.
There's some slightly cool shit with Superman, but that's it. Everything else sucks around it.
Sucks more ass than Jaren does.
Hey, listen. I mean, if you don't eat ass, are you even really having are you dating anymore?
No, you're not. You're not dating. Not
That's how the world works, my dude. I'm sorry. You can stay single if you want, or you can eat that ass.
I love you.
All right, let's go.
Girls demand a higher quality of man these days. All I'm saying.
You got to be better. I'm just saying. You just got to be better.
Get good, dude. Get good.